Not a good sign.
What's not?
Well, Matei's mic wasn't lighting up.
Oh,
Maybe we're in luck. Discord was out all day for me yesterday. I was in the stream all day. Couldn't hear anything.
hmm hmm Oh, not much we can do about that. Let's give Matei a second. Otherwise, continue with battle. Oh man, I should have not had a double hamburger
Should have not
from the
done
nap.
what?
I just had a double cheeseburger,
Mm.
and I'm ready to go take a nap.
Yep.
Well, here I
Extra
am showing
extra
up.
coffee today.
Yeah. Matei is having some issues.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Let's give him. Let's see what does he want to do. I think we should just get going with Adam, and he can join. I'll leave his part till the end if he's able to join.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Right. Let's start. I'll talk about futures movement overnight and the gamma positioning for SPX today. We did have PPI data about 30 minutes ago before the open, which is getting a positive reaction and helping us to clear yesterday's CPI spike high. So what I'll say about SPX is that we've been in a multi-day balance all week, and this 75.50 area was resistance, and in the overnight we pushed above it. We're now holding it as support. So 75.50 is the pivot today. It also coincides with the supportive dealer environment for gamma, which means that as long as you're above 75.50, it favors trend to the upside into 75.85 and 7600 plus. So as long as we're above there, I would focus on the upside. It's support. If we test it again, you could try for a long entry against that. And if we're able to clear this 75.75 area on SPX, then that opens up the next push higher after the open. We're trading right around that spot currently, and that's been resistance in the top of kind of multi-day balance. So if we do break above 75.75, that would be a multi-day balance break in a positive, supportive environment. I would not try to short anything above there, and personally wouldn't short above 75.50. So those are the pivots.
Mm.
If 75.50 were to fail, you could retrace towards 75.25.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there he is. Thank God.
Huh.
All right.
Every time I share my screen, I can't hear anyone.
Try
I'm
it
gonna try it
again if you
again.
can't. Yeah, I'll share mine otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Heck
Matei?
is not
Matei, are
on.
you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Matei, I can't hear you. All right.
Hmm.
All right. So we just ran through Gamma, Matei. A little bit behind schedule. So if you want to go through your
Okay.
section when you're
Yeah.
ready, and then yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know what J Money said, but I'm thinking upside today, and I think that's what he's got prepped. So market looks good. I think it could be a nice way to simplify trend day to the upside if we hold 50. Um, outside of that, as a way to simplify S&P. AEHR is interesting. So they had a really good earnings report today, bigger move than implied and expected. So this was A stock that had been leading earlier in the year, got caught up in some chop, and then had a pretty nice pullback on the higher time frame, down into the 60s, and then big gap up here. The significance of the higher time frame right now is the 50-day. So we're gapping up just above that right now as we're talking, and we have the 100 psych level just above us. So on a big gap up with more, bigger than implied or expected move. Um, that can make it pretty interesting for today. So going into the pre-market structure, I'm looking more so at a give and go here. So if we reject in this area, see a first move down that holds and turns, that would be a pretty nice setup. The one thing I would note on this is because of how big the move is and the resistance that's in front of us, there's sort of two setups to watch today, but also something to keep in mind is tomorrow. A lot of times, what we've seen so far over the last month or two is a tighter range on day one with good catalysts and a bigger day two. Snow, Dell, to name a couple that come to mind. So, just something to kind of keep in the back of your mind. But as far as trading this today, initially, I'd like to see a give and go. Um, or the secondary option would be more of a squeeze higher through 100. So, that right off the open, you would want to trade with tighter sell rules. You wouldn't want to get caught in any pullback because it is a bit hot. But that doesn't mean that it can't keep squeezing and push to 107. So, as we saw with some other trades, um, like Apple on the open just a few days ago. So basically, to simplify here, watching give and go is my primary, and then secondary I'll consider a squeeze above 100, and I'm looking at S&P straight up to simplify because there's actually a lot to like today. It's one of the first days in a while. I think there's a decent number of good looking setups. So that's how I've narrowed it down for today.
Okay. All right, cool. Let me get through the list. So I'm just gonna start with the ones that I like. JPM, offside play yesterday, so we gapped down on earnings and then ripped back up red to green, and then pretty much a trend day all day. We did see a little bit of an intraday consolidation, which happens. Although we pulled back kind of midday, we came back towards the highs towards the end of the day. So really strong, kind of typical textbook actually offside play. In terms of today, it's a continuation move. So if we dip, I would like it not to break below where we closed yesterday. I would like it to stay green. If it does so, break above yesterday's highs, we could move towards 350 today. So JPM, pretty straightforward move above yesterday's highs, or a red to green attempt, hold and turn, break above yesterday's highs and go. That's what I'm looking for in terms of JPM. I had a scalp in it yesterday, just never really got that big move. So we'll watch it today. Another bank, GS, that one did have earnings, gapped up and go. So it was a nice little breakthrough, that 1100, which we talked about in pre-market yesterday. Gave you a really nice move, about 50 or so almost 50 points to the highs. So today, another continuation move above yesterday's highs. Let's see if we'll see money into these kind of names. As we've started with earnings, and these are kind of like doing pretty well since releasing. So those are the two banks. Actually, there's a put play, which is Citigroup, also a bank. This one actually gapped up and pushed lower. So this is an offside play. It's just a downside offside play. So here, once again, look for continuation lower. If the market starts pulling back, shows weakness, if you have some of these stronger banks reversing lower, this could be a nice little downside candidate to watch for a green to red move again, and then break up yesterday's lows around 132. And I would target, 128 and then eventually 125. So those are the banks. Where I'm seeing some very kind of apparent strength or relative strength, I would have to say software crowd today. Continuation move above yesterday's highs. Really a nice break out of this cup and handle in the daily, which provided this really nice squeeze yesterday. It moved from about 190 and closed at 210, so about 20 points higher. Um, so for today with crowd, I would watch for that. Um, hold and go. If it starts breaking into yesterday's range, there's potential of it trying to put in a bit of an inside day today, which we can watch tomorrow. So don't force this, but really, really strong move here in the crowd as I am breaking my keyboard. there, there we go. Okay, that's it. Next thing that I like is net. It's another one really nice, strong mover here. And this one saw a nice little break yesterday, but didn't really have the same expansionary range as crowd had. So break above here, yesterday's highs around that 284, 285 is what I'm looking for. And then I guess one of my favorite setups would be Dell. This one is showing real nice strength. It's not, 4 or 5%. So there's a lot more to this, I think. And what I like about this one is that yesterday's highs is below this all-time high. So we can take advantage of that, playing that magnet move into it, and then potential break if we have a lot of momentum. So Dell is looking pretty good. And yeah, I like big picture how it's holding the gap up after last earnings, and had a couple of attempts to break into that gap and failed, and now we're back to highs. So this one could potentially run into September earnings report. Okay, that's that. Next, Apple. I'm still watching this 317, 40, 50 area. So that's the previous all-time high. We saw a nice little break above that 2 days ago. Mate traded it beautifully, and we've seen a bit of a pullback since, but it's holding up nicely here. So it's either building a bit of a bounce area here, a little bit of a range, or it's going to push back very quickly back to those highs. So just monitoring this. Amazon is another one where I think we have a very defined range to break. This one is showing it's not a technically perfect double inside day. We did see a little bit of excess yesterday on the lows. Nonetheless, I'm going to see it as that for all intents and purposes. I think if we do break above 250, this one could see a little bit of a squeezing move today. Looking through my list. All right, so NVIDIA. I do like what it's doing here. I still needed to break this 212.19. It's a very tricky level. I think we can see a move towards 221 if we break it. So NVIDIA, real nice strength yesterday after that recovery, after holding that 204, 205. D-Dog, very defined area here too. I think this is also like one of the better setups. It's just I always find D-Dog tricky to trade. I'd rather buy the stock common in this one, but yeah, very, very defined. I mean, break above this 271, 272. I think we see all-time high. We might get that very early in the session, actually. A little tag of the all-time high and then maybe consolidation. We'll see. So as you can see, there's a lot of setups here, but PLTR I think is worth mentioning because of the engulfing candle yesterday. We engulfed the previous 6 or so sessions, maybe 5 sessions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 4 sessions. Really strong kind of, I guess, a bit of a sellers kind of giving up there a little bit as we failed to break below the balance area range of 125. The kick saved, and then we saw this huge move to 136. So I think this one, it's tricky, but there might be something in this one now. Something kind of switched on here, I feel. But break above 136 into 140, 140, that's your squeeze level. Potential move towards that 150 area. That's all I have here. SKHY, you wanna talk about that? Because I haven't even looked at that.
Yeah, it's a really big mover yesterday. There is some stuff I'm looking into a little bit more with, because it's trading at such a premium from the Korean market. There's a report that came out on that today. Once the conversions are available on the 29th, it's kind of expected to cause a bit of heaviness in the price. So seeing a gap down because of that, I want to look into that a little bit more. Nonetheless, it's in play and it's moving a lot. So I'm not interested at the open, which is why I didn't, mention it as a focus. But I am watching it pretty closely. Yesterday was really good trade through 173. So today we'll just look to see if it sets up something, but nothing, on my radar as far as an entry around the open. It's kind of in the middle of yesterday's range.
All right, cool. Thank you. Sarang, you're up, sir. We have 10 more minutes to go before the open.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, everyone. So I think I like at the open only the crowd trade. To
Hmm.
be honest, so I'm watching about 213, 215 call at the open on the crowd. Maybe risking 209 or 208 on that. Just looking for an opening drive. Um, and from day one perspective, I think ASML also reported earning. The number looks good, but the stock is just fading. Uh, so what I'm watching is maybe some intraday pattern on this one, maybe open for both the direction, upside as well as downside. So let's see how it goes. So the move in the after earning is very small, like 2.4%, and the actual move was like implied move was around 6%. So we are making far less than implied move. So it favors the downside. Let's see how we set up intraday on this one. Um, and next one, from day two perspective, I like Goldman Sachs. Again, we don't have much pre-market structure or no volume in the pre-market. But we closed yesterday. They went high around at the high 1140. So what I'll be watching is maybe just wait for 5-10 minutes on this one, because at the open the spreads are very wide on this one. So better to watch intraday pattern on this one. That's it. And let me check quickly if I miss anything. Yeah, I think if the market is looking weak, so I like the infrastructure stocks like NBIS or CoreView for downside. They are like relatively very weak as compared to other stocks. So NBIS, I'll be watching maybe uh, below 190 or so. As of now, it's a little bit far from the trigger. The core view also the same one is like 78 area is like very defined one. So we have been basing around that level for 2-3 days. So I'll be watching these two candidates for downside NBIS and core view if market starts selling. And memory names also looking big in the pre-market. So let's see how we set up. That's it from my.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Give me a second here. Give me 1 second. All right, any names you guys want us to take a look at? Snow, let's take a look at Snow. Yeah, Snow, I mean, it's part of this entire kind of software theme, but yeah, making its way up. Really like Snow above 300. I think that's going to provide a huge move. Yeah, it's looking good, really good. I just don't like trading Snow much unless it's a super setup. Reddit. I do like the Reddit consolidation here. Holding 200 nicely and just feels a little random. I mean, it's a bit more into this like software space. So if the whole sector or the whole area of the market moves, I think this one could as well. Just been having a hard time pushing, but um, almost a double inside day candle here with an independent. It's a nice little gap above two still to be filled. So you might have like plus 10 above here. So just hands off for me. I really don't have anything great to say about it. I do think if you break 390, this one could see 370. Upside is hard. If it pushes 400, you've been able to kind of scalp it a few points, but just no trade there. 5 minutes to go here. UNH gapping lower here. Yeah, I would say UNH, Eli Lilly, all of those are names that I like to trade when we're seeing clear rotation into that area of the market, and we're seeing a little bit of take profit there. So heads off. Baba, yes, approved as Apple AI in China. So sorry, Apple AI is how does it go? Baba up on being approved. So Apple AI will be, I guess. Let me find the headline. Some positive Apple news though. Anyways, it's gapping up on news, so we'll see if it holds gains. It's been holding gains really nicely, which is surprising. When we gapped up above that 105, it's been kind of slowly pushing higher. Thanks, Matei. So gapped up after China approved Apple Intelligence for use on domestic iPhones, marking a key regulatory milestone for Apple AI rollout in the country. So I guess some positive developments. Thank you, Matei. Anyways, gapping up. I mean, I don't see much here unless we recover this 118 and 120 area. That'd be a significant change on the daily. It'd be that low recovery of the April low, which could be significant. Google, I am actually watching Google just in terms of if it could break this trend line on the daily. I think it needs a little work here, but something I'm watching. All right, I want to get ready here, guys. All right, NVIDIA might pop at the open here. Crowd, nice little sweep of that 211 area. JPM, big pop here. NVIDIA looks strong here. Crowd could be a nice little turn here to watch. JPM already breaking higher. SPX ES kind of holding here under overnight lows. See if you could break above overnight highs here. A nice little turn here already. A little bit of an opening drive here in the move and in motion here, crowd. Already breaking above yesterday's highs here. Crowd. So watch crowd.
Which AEHR 100. Shares. An AEHR above 100. It's harder to alert for options with.
Squeezing back to those highs. Crowd, big pop.
SPX 7575 test right on the open. You have to clear that for continuation 85 and 7600.
Tesla 400 here. And Nvidia break 212. So a couple nice movers here, guys.
7600 calls, S&P. Filled 7600 calls. It's 265.
Yeah, just to reiterate, we did open in the positive supportive environment. We do have some magnets forming above us. 7610 is getting hit. It's on now the largest position on the tape. So as long as above 7550, 7610 could be an end of day target.
Premium stock.
Tesla got mad at me for talking bad about it. So up for 5 points here. Oh, Tesla.
And a little speed bump here, 85. 76.10 has tripled since the open.
This 80 is huge on the daily. Last week's
And
highs.
yeah, as always, just want to make sure that we do cover the potential for the opposite side, which would be a rug pull if 75.50 were to fail.
Games are so bad.
Yeah, JPM. Yeah. Very nice.
AHR, fantastic trade today. Squeezed the
Wow,
110 there.
NQ really dragging us slower. It's completely
Mhm.
opposite of ES right now.
I think ASML is not really helping, like the whole semi side of things. So
Yeah,
be a little
need
cautious here.
NQ to participate.
I'm not on S&P at 250. I don't like what I'm seeing. Basically break even.
Really like an Apple, guys. Price action here. If it wasn't for the overall market, we should bounce here. 320s are really cheap, Apple guys. Trying to get in here. I just got filled there on that dip. 320 calls. Smaller trade. ASML offside here, ASML, green to red. Alright guys, just exited some here. Just exited some Apple. There's a lot of resistance above here, so just took half off. All right, if we break through here, guys, I'll take the. I've set my exit, my next exit around 135. But if they're moving fast, I'll move it higher towards 150. So I just moved it up. All right, I just got filled here, guys. I just moved it back down a bit. It was dragging there. Oh boy, that's a 1/4, guys, not a 1/2. 1/4, sorry. 1/4. Apologize. Okay, so it moved to 150. All right, so that shows me that there's some good strength here in Apple. Seller should have hopped on that. Expansion here, expansion. I just got filled at 2. Just have partial now. For me, that could have been a grade B setup actually if the market had proceeded to break above that 580. But market is, yeah. So now we're pulling back here. Market was a little shaky for me, so I wanted to participate, but not with size. Thanks, Steve. Okay, Apple is way opposite market here. So there's this Baba AI, Baba Apple AI thing that's going on here. So that's what's projecting Apple.
Yeah, gonna need NQ to turn, help out the overall market today. Just making new lows.
Apple is potentially moving towards those all-time highs around 323.5 or so. I'll be out very soon here. All right, so that was my out. It's an all out. Let me see, make sure that says all out, guys. Sorry. I'm already out, but just put it. Okay, there we go. Okay, good play. Now we have some funds to maybe buy a roll up. Good exit, Mateo, on those SPX longs. Good call out, JM, on potential of a bit of a reversal on those longs. So 75.50 still magnet below, unless I'm reading it wrong.
Yeah, so far that's a look above and fail of the CPI high and a failure to sustain that break from multi-day balance. So need to get back above 70 and 80 to look better here. 50 is still support below.
Hey guys, I'm in some Apple 322.50 calls, roll about 50 cents for those, very cheap. Using about 20% of gains. That's the whole 320. ASML green here. Bit of divergence on the 30-minute here on this pullback SPX. So buyers trying to absorb this pullback. Well, very, very strong here, guys, compared to the overall market, specifically NQ or Qs. See if it could sustain. If we get a little bit of a bounce in Qs or SPX, I would like to say Apple back to high day. Otherwise, it's just telling me that buyers are getting exhausted there, but let's see what happens here. Playing with profits now, so. I think fundamentally the news with Baba is a positive one for Apple. Grand scheme of things. Yeah, very nice apple. Come on, Apple. Sake. Push short. Slow. Nice little 4-7 once again. Sell. These moved to 80 cents actually, guys. The Apple calls. I just holding here for a little bit. Not too like stressed about it. Another potential entry Apple. Our SPX crowd
Watch,
making nice little turns.
watching an entry on SPX here against 50, actually. A bit of a different entry. 50 fails, as J Money said, then that's the rug pull setup, but still a chance at longs against 50. Watching the 75-80 calls.
Guys, this could be secondary entry Apple, okay? Could trade against that overnight highs. 390, 319. Let's just say 75.
I'm taking a second shot here at S&P against 50. 50 is a hard stop. You can rotate,
Yeah, I like
defend the
that.
charm flip. Yep.
Yeah, I like that a lot. 60 is important too from last few days. 60 has been important. So seeing a little bit of a bounce area here too. 60.
Mhm.
Like that. Yeah, Baba just fantastic move above that. 118 was it? We called out potentially at the open. There you go, Apple. Come on. Come on. Getting some of that Mate energy here through his calls. All right, just got exit there. Exited half of that roll. A little win there, back to high day here. Yeah, Bob, if you're trading it, I would say that as long as it's holding that 118, upside is likely. Next target will be 123 and a half, and then 125, 127 or so. Baba is squeezing nicely. So potential intraday setup on Baba. I need Apple to break higher here. Nice little entry on SPX calls, Mate. Recovery of that first 10-minute candle around 70 here. Could see high day. I would have likely jumped in with you on that one, actually. I really like that one.
I like your kind of trades.
PLTR, pop and drop. PAMW, back above PM highs. Crowd, beautiful move off the open. I think Serverang caught it. Yes, he did. Very nice. Semiconductor just getting their ass whipped. ASML is just not really helping. Although it is back green here, so let's see if it can make its way back up higher. IWM is seeing a nice little bid here. I would say it's relatively strong to some of the others. Up 42 basis points back to the highs above PM high. Is the weakest. Yeah, Apple. If you could break high a day, Apple, I think we could see those all-time highs.
SPX needs to clear 70 again.
If you're an Apple and you want to preserve some premium, just add your stop at your entry price. IWM is really strong here.
In Q, first sign of an attempt to turn.
Yeah, clear rotation out of Qs into IWM here, at least, from what I can see.
I fell to third here on SPX. Got actually a pretty bad fill there. Right. Yeah, okay. Like J Money said, 70 is important here, so taking a little partial.
Yeah, 70 is big, kind of reflexive, I guess.
Yeah, it's much
Except that,
thinner above there. It's much easier above 70 for sure.
yeah, for me, 80, like big picture, 80 is what I care about the most
Yeah, it's
because of the
big
daily
breakout level.
structure.
Yeah, yeah, I'm with you then.
But yeah, I'm not seeing Gamma kind of lining up to that. And that would be also like high day, basically, which, would be phenomenal. We should see 7,600 above that. It's a nice exit, guys. Full exit was pretty significant. Just took half off at 82%, almost 100%. So, the rest almost for free. And they were already free, but just talking about that position specifically. So I'm just going to hold that now. We'll see what happens throughout the day. No real stress. Remains like it's acting well. So when you look at Apple and the way they rebid it on pretty much every pullback, that's just buyers stepping in here and trying to protect this 320. So it tells us it's important. It tells us that potential, like trend mover and potential move towards all-time high. Come on, Apple, break the highs. Plus one ATR kind of target would be around that 323. ATR is a little bit below that, but it's also my target because it's the all-time high that we set the other day. Yeah, beautiful move in SPX. Dang, that was beautiful, Matei. Perfect trade.
Yeah, this turn looking pretty good on NQs. We'll see if it can continue. So definitely SPX has another node at 80 and then very thin above 80. So got the move from 70 to 80. 80 really opens up 7,600 plus, like you said.
First hold there, just into the strength until if we can break 80, I'd like to hold a little longer. Some runners down to half.
I might buy some SPX here, guys, for a roll.
Most
Like using
bullish
some
thing would
profits.
be, yeah, just hold 70 on a back test would be ideal scenario. Would be a very good look to hold 70 on a back test and then clear 80.
Might take some cheap 7600s. Yeah, we're getting monkey bot trigger here, upside here on 10. Need to break the highs, but ATR here, Apple ATR. Apple. And I just got filled there, just noticed. Oh, we killed it, guys. Well done. So they've unleashed Apple here, which could, let's see what happened here. SPX, I'm watching those 7600s. I'll be ready to take them for the right price, like they say. Let's see. Wow, Apple through ATR, guys. New all-time highs,
That's
Apple.
insane.
That is a move right there.
The 325s have come back to break even here. The roll up I
Yeah.
added from that first trade earlier in the week.
That's pretty crazy. Guys, I finally got filled on that. Finally, that pullback. SPX 7600s, I'm in. Wow, those 320s guys are exploding on Apple. She's still in them. I'm all out Apple here. 322.50s, I'm all out. $264%. I do have a 325 area above and then 333 on Apple. In terms of SPX, I'm waiting. I want to see that 180 break. Sorry, not 180, 75.80. Calls are up nicely, guys. All right. Yeah, Microsoft, keep an eye on this 394. Break above that. I think we can see 404 or 9 above that. Guys, Apple, I rolled into SPX because I see a better risk reward there. I might be wrong, but Apple 325 is still something to roll into. I would watch that 322.50 backtest though to hold. Yeah, Meta, big candle here. I just got the alert, Alex. Big candle here. Might be news. I don't know, but it feels like they're just buying names now. Q's coming back nicely. Max 7 really good here. Amazon up, Apple up, Microsoft up, Meta up. Google, real nice move as well. It's all about this 80 for me, SPX. Seeing those, we're seeing some activity above here still, right, Jay?
Yep, it's looking better for upside again. Those magnets are coming back. 76, what is this? 76.10 again. So yeah, clear 80, hold 65 to 70. I would watch 65, 70 for a dip buy if you see that. We don't really want to test 50 at this point. 65 is kind of as low as we want to go now.
Yeah. So there, oh, okay. So PayPal, Amazon bidding war speculation from Burry and QTR. Burry 60.50 is just too low. I'm not selling. And I believe it is only an opening bid. So Amazon looking pretty good here. Full new highs. Motherfucker. Oh, excuse my language. I can't curse, apparently. Should have rolled there. 325 target. Oh, thanks, Cactus. Oh boy. Some of you guys are playing SNDK puts, MU puts, paying as well. There we go. 325 Apple. New all-time highs up about 3.2% on the day. Amazon squeezing. Meta squeezing. Microsoft squeezing. Nvidia doing nothing.
Guys, I just cut half of that 325 call roll up on Apple. I'll hold the other for glory.
Breaking 325. That's a +2 mover, maybe. +2 is 330. I could see you going there, guys. I should have been a little bit more size on that. As I said, I would have been if it wasn't for the market, but then the market made a real nice comeback. So yeah, there we go. SPX, there we go.
Apple and Microsoft saving the day.
About freaking time.
Who would have thought?
SPX testing high day. Yeah, this for me, the Apple Baba. Thinking about it now, I should have put a little more emphasis on that. And I say this while catching 2 trades with Apple, but maybe a little more size. I was a little undersized on that. Thinking about it now. Yeah, Microsoft broke 393. Now moving towards that 400. All right. Yeah, let's see if we can get 7,600. Guys, huge move in Max 7, okay? Max 7, huge moves. Minus Meta. Sorry, NVIDIA.
Went ahead and exited Apple. Just taking the profit on that. This isn't a really vertical move, so look to add it on a dip if we get one intraday as a roll up, maybe 330 calls for next week.
Oh, nice one. Let's come back on that.
S&P got slapped at 80 again.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. In queue making new lows, pulling us down again.
Yeah, new low day. Damn. Marks off the squeezing here. Vertical move. Yeah, it's pretty clear. This 80 needs to be cleared, guys. On SPX. Accuser's way weak, man. That is not helping us. big candle lower here, SPX.
Small out SPX on that dip, the 75, 80s. I'll consider rolling this 7600s above 80 if we break that. If we break that a third time, I'd be pretty surprised if we didn't break out the 7600. That's not a bad look here, considering weakness in Qs.
What what name are you talking about?
SPX. I just
Oh,
think if
SPX.
yeah, I'm looking. I might add a roll up on puts instead of calls. And trade against 70. '60 is pretty important. We've got the polar here, charm flip here. 70 position is pretty big. It's holding us back. Not sure if J Money's seeing the same here. About to get an update.
Yeah, it's not looking great. This is for 7600. This is probably your last. You need to get back above 70 in a hurry. Holding
Mhm.
below 70, you could see 40 and 75 10 to 15 put spread just got added.
Mhm.
75 15 20, 75 10 and 15 as the largest position now. So say they need a stick save quickly. Higher risk, but you could, if it's a roll up, you could definitely try to short against 70.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of like both here. I like adding calls against that
Yeah,
charm
it
flip.
it could definitely go either way. Since technically we're still above, we held the charm flip. We have to get above 70. Those positions growing below are not
Mhm.
ideal.
Right.
Shorting
We just
against
moved from
70 would definitely have to be a roll up with profits only.
I'd say this is not a terrible long idea, actually. You have your stop, the orb low day area. Well, it's already bounced a bit, but we're inside of this kind of first 30-minute range, and I think we could ping pong here. We still have the gap below to fill. I actually don't like anything here. I mean, the only thing I like about this is that we're holding the orb low. We're also uh, riding the 9 on 10, which is just kind of holding here. Um, yeah, just kind of sitting here, sitting on hands. Well, really quick buy up there. Yeah, this 70 became a monster, didn't it? IWM back to highs. Just clear relative strength there.
I'm gonna put 7600s on as a complete roll, size to 0. I like the way that we're defending. It feels tricky, and so with size 0 with profits, I want to stay positioned. There's just so much strength in Apple. Hard to think short. Mag 7's really hard, or really strong with Meta at the highs, Apple at the highs. So that was a little bit of a fake out. Getting cheap 7600, I actually like that. So if 70 rejects, it might just crap to 40, but with size with some profits, I like the risk reward there. So it'll likely be my last position for a bit. I'm just gonna sit and kind of watch things unfold here.
A little bit of a one for the upside here. Can break highs. I think Apple is harder here, but let's see. Meta pushing into new highs. Google new highs.